Hi, I'm Dave Palicki. I'm the business development leader for North America with Owens Corning on our air distribution business. And I'm really a very proud and privileged vendor partner for Nexstar Network. I'll tell you that I've been 40 years with Owens Corning, and I have never been around an organization that's so awesome as the Nexstar contractors. You guys get it, and we're so privileged to be a part of your team as a vendor partner. And I will say, and that last year we became your strategic partner of the year for growth. And that's what this is all about, is helping you grow your business. So we're going to spend a few minutes talking about potentially different avenues for you to look at to increase your revenue and your profitability in this business of our insulation. So what we're going to do and talk about today is kind of a quick review of our product line, some key benefits to each of the products. That'll take just a couple of minutes. Then we'll talk about training and our very robust training curriculum that is available to you. We know that training is the new selling. We know training is super important. Nexstar does it like no one. So we can supplement some pretty neat programs that we'd like you to look at. We're going to spend some time because there's no other network, there's no other contractor base that's done more growth in our loose fill insulation than Nexstar. So I do want to spend some time having you take a look at this product, allowing you to set yourself apart from the competition, which you kind of already do, but it's really a compelling opportunity because of the demand for this product. Then I'm going to spend at the end a little bit of time on duct replacement. That's a major initiative we have for you contractors that are in the South, basically those who have slab construction. There's a great need and opportunity to replace duct systems, to re-insulate those duct systems, to reseal those duct systems for all of the top of mind things today, which is indoor air quality, energy savings, and comfort. So just to begin with, our product line's been around forever. We invented ductboard back in 1958, I believe. Duct wrap's been around a long time, and our liner products as well. But if you've used our products in the past, maybe years ago, and maybe weren't quite into the quality or didn't meet your fitness for use, I would highly encourage you to take a look at our product line again, because our products are doing super well with the contractors who use them, and our market share is growing extremely enviably. So great products. I don't need to talk to you a lot about why insulation, but it is so important. If you realize that the home that we're selling in, those homeowners, 45% of what they consume is really has a lot to do with heating. And so that's why ProCat is so important. That's why duct, for those areas that need to put insulation on their ducts and seal their ducts, it just becomes so important. It's also great for noise control, the whole indoor air quality piece, because of about vapor turning to moisture. We do reduce mold and fungus growth with proper insulated attics and ducting. So there's a lot of great benefits of the product. Our offering basically is ductboard, liner, and duct wrap. Our ductboard product, I know a lot of you are in markets that don't use ductboard, and we respect sheet metal to the 10th degree. I mean, we absolutely love our sheet metal partners. I just would want to share that there are markets that typically were sheet metal in the past that are looking at ductboard, and it's simply because of productivity and labor, and the fact that our ducts naturally are hermetically sealed, so we meet all the requirements for air leakage. So it's really a productivity gain. It's lightweight. You can take 15, 20 feet of duct, and one person can hang it. So and it's a good product. Again, for those of you who are interested in looking at ductboard, as an opportunity in your market. We'd love to talk with you, train you, teach you everything that needs to go on in this product line. I don't think a lot of you at Nexstar are involved with the sheet metal coil lines, but if you are, we have a super product. Our duct liner is growing terrifically in market share. I guess the biggest thing is we have a lot of recycled content, which is very important for specifying engineers. The other piece that's really kind of very different that we do from our major competitor is that we make our glass, spun glass versus pot and marble, which causes these fish hooks, which are pretty cumbersome, that are in the pack. They can cut you, they crunch. It's just not a fully fiberized product. So it's a big advantage for those of you in the sheet metal business. Duct wrap, very typical, a lot of contractors use duct wrap no matter what geography you're in. The big advantages that we have, number one, is packaging. I have a picture on the bottom left, which shows our flat 4-pack versus and that does say Owens Corning, but it's exactly our competitor's style of packaging. So we get a lot more square feet in the footprint versus the roll pack. So that's an advantage for you if you store this product in your warehouse or on the job site. The really big one that we've worked on over the last couple of years is the last 5 feet, because of the roll-up process that the manufacturers use, were typically unusable. So we worked a lot on our roll-up, and now you can use the full last 5 feet of the roll because it isn't crimped, it's not pleated, it's not completely wrinkled that you can't use it. So we always say that we can get an extra 5 lineal feet of our product due to our packaging process, which is important. The last thing on products, and this is probably the most important slide in this section, is that we invented flex duct, but we got out of that business in 1986. But we really support, 100% support any of these OEMs, any of these manufacturers on this list. So I'd ask you to take a good look at the list. And if you are buying any of these, from any of these manufacturers, it qualifies for your rebate. And there's a lot of flex being used all over the United States. So I really encourage you to take a look at your brand, because I know a lot of you don't know what brand you're buying maybe, but it's a great opportunity for you to get rebates. So I'm encouraging you to take a look at this list. And yes, I think there's good rebate potential for you. We do offer more than products. I talked about training. The training is the new selling. We fully understand that, embrace that. And who better to talk about training than Nexstar? I mean, you all are the best trained contractors out there. So all we're saying in this slide is that we can help supplement some of the technical training that might be of interest to you. I won't go and read this entire list, but we do some of the really key ones for air distribution contractors, like the ACA manuals. We do RightSoft, the full suite of RightSoft, but certainly the block load, which is a great program. The other one is infiltration duct leakage. That's a very popular certification. And the point being on this slide is that we do this for free. The only thing that we would ask or to charge for is if there is testing involved to get you certified. So if we get charged for it, we're just simply passing on whatever that cost is to you. But this is not even a full list. So there's a lot to talk about relative to training, in-home selling training for some of our products. We'd love to talk to you about that. And after we get into some of those initiatives that we're talking about, I think you might be very interested in our in-home selling process for both loose fill and for duct replacement. And I'll get onto that in a bit. So let's talk about ProCap, because that is one that Nexstar Network has done better than any group out there, and you continue to grow. It's a great opportunity. It's an easy sell, and there's a huge demand for insulation. We're going to get into that in a bit. So basically what we're going to go through is, why ProCat? What is it? What kind of jobs to avoid? How does it work? Some benefits, some pricing, the pricing. We have a really nice pricing tool that I like to go through because it really helps you calculate not only how much material you need, but how much profitability you can make. So it's a pretty slick tool that's available to all of you, and I'll go through that in a bit, and just some marketing pieces on ProCat. But let's just talk about the opportunity, because it's phenomenal. 90% of all the homes in North America are under insulated. So there you go. 9 out of 10 homes that you go in are going to need insulation. And so it's a great opportunity right from the beginning. We have a super technique to talk to homeowners about insulation. Love to get into that during the training. But I think for you as contractor owners, you should know that it's not only easy to sell, but it's very profitable. Typically, a retrofit job earns about $1,000 profit. And in a typical house, let's say 1,500, 2,000 square foot house, it takes about 3 hours to do it. So heck of a return for 3 hours of investing your time up there. And again, a super easy sell. Great in the shoulder seasons too, because that's when you can really take those maintenance contracts that you have and go above and beyond, checking. And this goes to you plumbers and electricians too, especially you have all the permission in the world to go up in that attic to go see what's going on. So again, very encourage you to take a look at this product line. So what is it? I think you've seen it in past trade shows. We've had, the machine, we raffle the machine, but it's really a very portable piece of equipment. It comes in 2 pieces. The insulation itself is really awesome. It covers more square feet in a bag than any other insulation available out there. It's super simple to use. The product itself, it's like cotton. I mean, everyone runs by when we're in the trade shows, they run by our booths and, oh, that stuff itches. Well, it doesn't, because we always, try to have you touch it. It's really great for your installers to use. They love it because it doesn't itch. It's easy. It's very low dust, and it's super easy to install. So we know, obviously, it's not for every contractor, but we think the Nexstar group is probably the best type of contractor to promote ProCat because we're looking for that contractor. And again, I do include plumbing and electrical, but that you do the, add-on replacement. You look at yourself as a comfort experts, the homeowners, you use comfort experts. You do a whole home evaluation. You look at the entire home, the system, the envelope, and you're big proponents of in-home selling. I know that because, there's no better trained contractor than the Nexstar contractor. And then we encourage you to continue to take our training classes and some of the anecdotal things that we tend to teach. But again, not for every contractor, but we would encourage you to take a good look at it. The other question is always, well, I don't know about the machine. How do I get a machine? Well, most of our distributors carry a loaner machine. The one point in this, there's lots of ways to get a machine, either through rental or getting it for yourself. But the one point on this slide is the fact that we do not want the machine to get in the way of your interest to sell ProCat, to get involved in this. So we'll find a way to get you the ProCat. We just need your interest in pushing it. So, more on that if you're interested, but we do have ways of getting machines because obviously you need it to do the job. Talking about doing the job, we have a whole accessory line that we not only encourage, we strongly recommend that you use the accessories because it's very easy to just blow the insulation in, but if you're not, covering those E-vents for ventilation, if you're not using the hi-hat covers for the lights, if you're not using the hatch, if you're not sealing, you're just basically not doing the full job. And secondly, you could have, issues down the road if you're, especially if you're blowing right over the E-vents, because, that attic needs to breathe, but very easy to install. The prep work takes a little more time than the actual insulation does itself. The last thing I'm going to say quickly is we do have a foam pink seal, or I'm sorry, comfort seal. And it's great. The contractors love it because you can use the full can. You're not throwing away half-used cans because the gun is completely cleanable. And it's again, it's a cost, right? Cost and profitability. So it's a low-cost solution, and it's competitive. So use the accessories. Super important. I've got a 3-minute video that I hope you can stick through this because it's a good demonstration on how easy this product is to install. And well, let's just let you watch it.
Today, we'll show how to prep an attic for loose fill and use the dense blow mode to get thermal performance in the eaves. First, we'll demo installing Owens Corning Raftar Mate Vent to get proper ventilation. Next, we'll staple some ProCAD insulation rulers in the attic to get the right depth of insulation and mark the eaves for dense blowing. We'll attach the dense blow attachment to the hose and discuss the remote functions. And finally, we'll show the product install and talk about relevant machine features. To install Owens Corning Raftar Mate attic vents, position it in place and fold the tab onto the top plate along the line marked fold. Staple the tab to the top plate in a few places. Then staple the main body to the roof deck. To install the ProCAD insulation rulers, align them against a stud and drive them down to the floor of the attic. Straighten them out so they're flat against the stud and staple them. Building code may require a minimum number of rulers placed in the attic. Check your local codes for requirements. To mark the eaves, measure from the top of the insulation to the depth you're going to blow the attic along the ProCAD insulation ruler. Then take that measurement out to the eave and mark the joist. Dense blow the eaves full to the mark, then blow the attic normally. Install the dense blow attachment to the hose by stretching the bungee cord around the hose and inserting the dense blow nozzle. On the remote, press the dense button to start dense blow mode. Stop will stop the machine, and normal will start the machine in attic mode. The ProCAD machine dense mode has a hose clearing feature. When dense mode is first started, the machine will activate the blower and clear the hose. No loose fill will be fed for a moment, but this is not a malfunction. Let the machine clear the hose and start the agitators. You do not need to stop the machine to move from dense mode to normal mode. Pressing norm will switch to normal mode during dense mode operation, and pressing dense will switch to dense mode during normal mode operation.
So I think you saw how easy it is to install the ProCAD. Absolutely be careful. There certainly are some jobs you want to avoid. Anything that has vermiculite, that's a known carcinogen, do not do that. Any bare wires, not tubing, don't go up in there. And then the other one, obviously, if there's a lot of high humidity, wet drywall, you don't want to walk in and add on to a problem job. So, select your job. Most of the homes that you go into don't have any of these, so you're going to be good to go. The other the other opportunity that I wanted to share with you is, how do you talk to the homeowner? Well, we have a whole training session. We certainly don't have, enough time to go through that today. But what's really important for the homeowner is to have them, understand that this insulation might contribute to helping that hotspot in the house. It's certainly going to help lower their monthly heating and cooling bills. It's going to help, make them more comfortable. It's actually acoustically makes the home feel better. And there are a lot of rebates available. I'm going to quickly share something. There's a great website that we're just promoting because we know it's out there, but it's DSIRE. If you can look up here, here's the URL, and it's actually put together by North Carolina State. And what's great about it is, let's just say we're in Arizona, so you can go to the state, you can go to the zip code, and then basically, you click, and then it brings all the incentives, because how you really sell this well is keep showing the homeowner how much they're not going to have to spend for their utilities, right? It's not the saving, it's the lack of, don't let them spend the money. And so he always look for the financial incentives. I'll just pick one here in Arizona. It tells you what you get. It's up to up to $900. You got AC tune-up, duct sealing, $300. That's what we're promoting too. So this is a really nice website. If you're interested, you can really get prepared for that call, not only for our products, but obviously for your equipment and any type of incentives for air conditioning as well. So we know that not every Nexstar contractor is interested in doing this, and so kind of what's holding you back? I think what we hear a lot, and a lot from you all, is that, hey, I know I know an installation contractor who does it. It's just easy. I get a little commission if I find an opportunity. But I don't think you're getting $1,000 finder fee. If you are, then you really have a good deal. But for the most part, you're not making, pretty much at a minimum $1,000 for the job. And then, we don't have enough people to do it. What a great opportunity. We know how scarce labor is today. What a great opportunity, especially after COVID, with so many people in the service industry looking for work. I mean, getting them involved in this, it can really give you the litmus test on if that salesperson is, worthy to stay on with your company, embraces your culture, so you can bring people in just to do this installation work. And the whole big box, I will tell you that ProCAD is not available for the big box. And secondly, even if it were, our research is clearly showing that the do-it-yourselfer is aging out. People like my age, I mean, they used to do it. The younger people do not really want to do the work. So it's a great opportunity. Again, the market is just ripe, huge, and you can differentiate yourself. The last quick thing I'd like to show you is our calculator. And this is a great one for the homeowner. Basically, it says how much, you ask, how much do you pay for your heating and cooling costs? Then it averages, so if it's $300, it just goes ahead and that's for your year. And then, let's say you get a rate increase every year, compounded. This is where your 10-year cost is. We promote up to 30% savings, but let's just be conservative and say you're going to get 20. You've got a monthly savings of $75 and 2 years of payback. So it's a real easy way to show a homeowner how much they're going to save. We have for you, then anything in pink is what you can play with. So, how many installers, typically 2, what wage are you paying them per hour? Setup and tear down time, you're going to have to figure that out based on experience. and then how much time it takes per minute to do the raft armates and all of the accessories. And then obviously you have your overhead and profit. And this is very typical. We know their contractors are making more than this. And if you're offering a commission, but your basic win here is, it's why we say about $1,000. So, and the cost to the consumer is $18.25. The program also, which is great because people always say, well, how many bags do I need? How many, whatever. So it's really simple because you just take what you currently have as far as insulation is concerned, and what the DOE recommends. We have those maps that you can look at and you can show the homeowner. These are minimum requirements. But let's just say you want an R60 in some of the northern climates, and let's see, you have 6 inches, and it basically tells you that you need 19.75 inches. You need 1375, and then you go back to your data sheet, and it'll tell you that you need 20 bags right here, 20 bags of product. So again, takes a lot of the guesswork out. It's a great little spreadsheet that we recommend that you use, and certainly available to you. So just another couple slides. If you go out in price, or you have other people who are doing insulation, and you look at your bag cost, these aren't real numbers, but it's really important that you see what's the coverage, right? Because you have some bags that are pretty inexpensive, but they don't have the coverage. Again, these are all tools available to you. Here is the DOE map that we spoke about, and here are the inches of insulation that you need. It's really a simple sell to the homeowner. And we, Owens Corning, we're big on marketing, huge on marketing, and we will help you sell this. This is something that I think a lot of our contractors are using very skillfully, is we have a lifetime warranty for our insulation that it will not settle. There's a lot of cellulose out there. They also have a warranty, and it is that the product will settle over time. So ours is lifetime, no settling. We got great advertising, merchandising. We have homeowner brochures. It's really, our contractors that are involved in this are very happy and making a lot of money. So it's a great way to profitably grow your business. The last segment I'm going to talk about is one of our major initiatives, and it really is I mentioned it early on, right in the beginning. We have a great opportunity in the south of the United States, slab construction homes where the attic is accessible. We have done some terrific research, spent 3 years interviewing tens of thousands of homeowners, and also thousands of contractors, and we think there's a great opportunity for duct replacement. We spend 90% of our time indoors. Now with COVID, it's been even more than that. Ducts leak 30%. We spend $81 billion on asthma every year. And what we really found interesting is these homeowners, they're coddling, approaches. They're putting air purifiers in. They're replacing their filters every other month. They keep doing duct cleaning, and all of you do duct cleaning, in all due respect, I think it's great, but I think you all also know it's a Band-Aid. If you can replace that duct, it's the best thing to do. So let's find the root cause, and that's really, we live indoors, Americans, homeowners, and we have a duct problem. So again, a great opportunity. We know in the southern Smile States, we're calling it, this is our target market. There are 33 million single family homes that have been built since 1980. We invented flex ducts, as I said before, and a lot of those homes, absolutely, our jacketing wasn't the best jacketing that was available at the time, but jacketing, the UVs were attacking it. I'm sure you as contractors have been up in those attics and seen some pretty ugly flecks. So we think that out of those 33 million, 1 out of every 4 need a full duct replacement, and at least every single one of them need a partial, and they all need insulation. So we have a wheel. I don't need to get into, but you know that this is continuing training. You can upsell, you can develop your talent, you grow your revenue. Hardly anybody says, man, I wish you wouldn't have, added that return in my house. I really wish you wouldn't have replaced my ducts or you put insulation in my house. So not a lot of callbacks, great referrals. And again, we talk about shoulder season. So kind of looking at it visually, you got 90% of the homes that need attic insulation or ductwork, only 5% are getting it. You got an 85% opportunity out there. And it is so ripe to grab. I would highly encourage you to take a look at this. The other thing we found out was really clear is that ducts aren't something that homeowners know anything about. They don't research it. They'll tend to research equipment. They'll know a little bit about SEER, AFUE, but duct, no, they don't know much about it. And that lack of knowledge, being out of sight, makes it a difficult sell. Contractors also don't push it because first of all, they may be in line of 4 or 5 quotes, and they may be the last ones, and they're bringing up something that no other contractor has brought up, and they're thinking, man, maybe this contractor's in my pocket for some extra money, so they're a little fearful of offering duct replacement. The other thing that we found on this slide that is really, really important, this is probably the crux of the message, is our research also showed, and it's so sad because I'm sure there were no Nexstar contractors when we interviewed the tens of thousands of homeowners, but there is a big lack of trust with the HVAC contractor. And again, it's really sad. It's the bad apples that spoil the bunch. And so what we're promoting is the fact that our system, our way, and our brand, Owens Corning, is probably the best known brand in the building material industry. And it really adds a lot of credibility for you to talk to that homeowner because you're representing Owens Corning in the messaging. So very important, this association with Owens Corning, and that's why I think we've been very successful, and I'll show you about that in a minute. But what really, in a Pareto, what is really important is improved air quality is really motivational today. You all know this. I'm sure you're selling UV lights left and right. It's a topic that's top of mind. People have spent a lot more time in their home than they ever have before. And so it's a great time to promote it. It's a significant investment, but it is a potential for selling, eventually selling that home, having that done is a big deal. And the cost saving goes beyond the energy bill. And we talked about contractor trust. So what are we offering at Owens Corning? We're asking our contractors that want to become a part of this to do a whole home approach to HVAC sales. Today, contractors typically out there are spending time with the condenser, spending time with the air handler, and they're walking away from all of these. These are all profit centers. These are all revenue producing. You can do a system redesign. You can sell indoor air quality, products. You can add the attic insulation. You can add, you can re-insulate the ducts if necessary. So there's actually 12-point system that looks at the entire system because you know what, you all know this, but HVAC is an interconnected system. This part, the ducting, is the lungs of the house, and they are neglected so often. So it's just a great opportunity because it's overlooked, and if you can educate the homeowner, we have ways to do that on how to, how to test for these inefficiencies. There's a great revenue opportunity, and we can definitely get into that if you're interested. So what we found, the research back, the messaging that really got to homeowners, and it's real simple, is that we're supporting air quality, we're controlling energy cost, or how much you pay to the utility, and enhance the home comfort. So You're going to enjoy more pleasant temperatures. And it's not only a temperature thing. We also found that comfort is lack of worry. And you can do this all with a duct replacement and re-insulation work. This is kind of a key slide because we have a cohort. We started this a year and a half ago, and all of our cohort did, some retrofit ducts and they did some insulation. But as of June, that's the last we programmed in here. We were up 49% off of a base of people doing it, and then 156% for the insulation. So it's working. Our messaging is working. Our homeowner messaging is working. And if you're going out there to, do your normal maintenance and you're maybe walking away with $500, $1,000, if you look at that whole home approach, that simple job could potentially be 15, 20, 30 grand and highly profitable. We're very careful sharing, profitability information that our contractors have, but I will say that a lot of them are well north of 50%. So again, a great opportunity if you're looking to increase profit and revenue. So basically, moving here forward is our theme. We have a whole initiative, it's a training process that's available, in-home training, and we'd love to talk to you more about it. I'm just putting this slide up quickly because we're in conference with Pearl. I think a lot of you at Nexstar are familiar with Pearl. I just want to let you know that we're also talking with them, and some type of a partnership is potentially there. And we know that they're also looking for that top tier contractor out there because they are close with the Realtor Association. I don't want to spend too much time here. I just want to let you know that we are talking to Pearl. So what do we give you as far as support's concerned to the contractor that's interested in becoming a part of our cohort? We have all this fantastic training, and I really mean it. I just did a couple of them last week as we were able to get out, and the contractors really enjoyed it. So I think we've got something. Certainly our in-home selling process is really key. We talked about ProCat training and ductboard fabrication. We have a contractor playbook. It's kind of our secret sauce, and it's what we get into when we're doing the in-home selling process. We go into this in detail. It's a great way. It's a great approach, and I showed you that it's certainly working. We also have a landing page, which is part of our corporate website, and a contractor locator. So if you go into our website, it scrolls through different things that we're offering. You see the retrofit page. Actually, it had more hits when it came up than any other segment in the history of our internet. So we got slammed with a lot of people looking and being interested in learning about ductwork and comfort and savings. But again, we'll list you in the contractor locator. We had about a month ago, someone call one of our contractors in Texas out of the blue, and they just said, hey, I saw Owens Corning's ad and I want a full duct replacement. They weren't even a client. Not saying that this is going to be an automatic lead generation, but it's certainly going to help. We know you're all really big on social media. We have great content to support your messaging, to control what you want to say and what you, and then really enhance your messaging to the homeowner. So we've got great marketing that we'd like to co-market with you on your social media. I did a podcast for the news 2 weeks ago. It's going to come out in October. We've got case studies, editorials. We are investing in this opportunity. And the more success we have and the more contractors we get on board, the more we're going to spend, because it's just a really big opportunity and we know it's working. So we're driving leads to the contractors. We also have a toolkit that we go through in the training, and it kind of takes all of these, because we want to educate the homeowner, listen to the homeowner, empathize with the homeowner, and not tell them what they need. We want to show them where they're deficient in their system. So we have a health system or health check toolkit that we give to the contract. We give one full kit and we go through how to use it. And it's been quite successful. We have a homeowner brochure, which is a great leave behind because it goes through some of those questions that you get when you sit with the homeowner and listen and empathize. It's a great leave behind. You can actually, we'll put your logo on the brochure itself. And again, it's a nice leave behind. We even get into the psychology. We've hired a couple of key executives from Procter & Gamble, and they've taught us more about consumer behavior than you can imagine. So we have a great conversation guide. When is it the appropriate time to bring duct replacement into the conversation? We have the analogies, the old engine, new engine, old car. You're putting a high SEER or high SEER unit in your home, and you're putting it into a Pinto, basically, because that ductwork could be 20, 30, 40 years old. The other one, as far as leakage, air leakage is super huge, as you know, in the attics. It's if you went to the gas pump, you put your nozzle in and 30% of that gas would spill on the floor, what would you do? You'd go crazy. And that's kind of what's happening, that is what's happening in your attic. So great analogies, get the homeowner understanding, this whole thing that was a mystery to them before, which is their duct system. So that's basically the program. We really appreciate your, just thanks for the time and the effort of hanging in there. Went through a lot of different topics. I have all of my information up here, Dave Palicki at owenscorning.com, and my phone number. If this spurs any interest whatsoever, I'd love to hear from you. Again, you guys are the greatest. I'm so proud to be a part of this family, this team. And I hope everyone has a great and safe day.